Pat O'Melia here live from the STEM Showcase here at the Liberty Science Center, courtesy of R.W.J. Barnabas, my buddy Congressman Frank Aridi, NJCU, and many, many others. My network, Comcast, is involved in this. Many of the civic leaders in Hudson County are involved in this, and what you have is the best and the brightest from the STEM studies. Again, science, technology, engineering, and math. Ladies, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Karen Ayub. I'm an 11th grader at McNair Academic High School.
Hi, I'm Alicia Gomes. I'm also in 11th grade and I go to McNair Academic.
A lot of McNair in this building here today. You're like the third or fourth.
Yeah.
I keep saying my daughter is an alumni of McNair.
Oh, wow.
She graduated, I guess, about 14 years ago. Went on to Ramapo College, got 2 degrees there. Jersey City girls?
Yes.
What part of the city you live in?
I live near Journal Square.
All right, that's what we call the Journal Square area.
Yep.
And you?
In the Heights.
You're in the Heights? All right, that's my area. I'm up on Congress and Central. That's been up there for, I think it's about 41 years now, ever since I got married. We left Dog Patch, Jersey City. You don't know where Dog Patch is, do you?
No.
It's down by the Hackensack River. Not too far from Journal Square.
Yeah.
Tell me about your project.
So it's called Lighting the Way, and it's basically using bioluminescent dinoflagellates, which are microorganisms, to harness their light energy, because they create an enzymatic reaction with something called luciferin, generated by the ATP they produce. And so increasing oxygen levels would allow them to prolong their bioluminescence. And because of that, we can use it as a natural source of light energy. So they last about 1 to 3 months, and right now they're currently only causing harm as like red tide or algae pollution. So in doing this, we can find like a positive way to use them as a resource.
Now, the photos, is that photosensitive? Is that what that would be called?
They're bioluminescent, so they glow in the dark, yeah.
How deep down in the ocean are they?
So like in the Philippines, you can find them on the surface like of the water, in like beaches or in Florida. So like at night, if a boat is passing through, the agitation will cause them to light up, so you can see them in the water.
That'll dredge it up, and then it becomes invisible. For that matter, one of our astronauts managed to find his way back to an aircraft carrier when he was a pilot, because of the algae being pulled up from the seabed there by the propellers. And the lights were out on the airplane, whatever it was a bad situation, but he was able to follow the algae in and he was able to land. And your project?
So my project is applying a transdermal dispersion of nutrients to prevent malnutrition in developing countries using nutritionally infused henna. And so I basically added nutrients to henna, and I'm not sure if you know what henna is. It's a very
I don't know what any of you kids are doing.
So it's a traditional dye that a lot of people in like developing countries, South Asia, Middle East wear on their hands. And so I basically added nutrients in with the henna because what the henna does is it kind of settles on the topmost layer of your skin, which is the stratum corneum. And so basically I was kind of making the henna as like a dump truck. So it's dumping the nutrients into the deeper layers of the skin and reaching the bloodstream.
When you say a henna, you mean like a henna tattoo?
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
You're figuring to have the nutrients absorbed by the skin?
Yeah.
How did you come up with this idea?
Well, my parents are from Bangladesh, and a lot of people wear henna to just anywhere, really. Like, they wear it every single day. And so I thought, oh, why not add like nutrients to something that they wear every single day?
It amazes me what inspires you to come up with these projects and experiments. And what inspired you to come up with this?
Yeah, just the whole problem in Florida with the red tide. I figured that there needs to be like a positive solution to that. So you can take dinoflagellates that you would normally just have in the water and use it as light energy.
Now, I've heard of red tide. We don't have it up here in New Jersey. What causes the red tide?
So it's basically the algae that's in the water. When they're creating their luminescence, or just in the non-bioluminescent algae, just the buildup of the algae, that's what causes the layer that creates red tide. So the marine animals like get sick, and so it covers the topmost layer of the water, darkens the area. So yeah.
How often does that happen in Florida? It just recently happened, didn't it?
It recently happened. I'm not sure how often it happens, but I know it's like a recurring problem. So.
Is that an issue in the Middle East also? Because one time the Nile ran red.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Well, you could look at the biblical aspect of it, but there's usually a scientific explanation. Have you guys been judged yet?
Yeah, we just finished.
And no word? You didn't come by with any ribbons or anything yet?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Do you have any teachers that you want to give a shout out to?
Mr. Stan.
Mr. Zan was our science research teacher that helped us like for the past few years. He just took like
A vacation.
for this year, but like a lot of this is owed to him. Mrs. Soria, Mrs. Trinidad also
Miss
came to
Nolau.
support us. Miss Nolau.
Did you run into any old
Han.
teachers here? Because you got
So one of our old teachers, Miss Trinidad, she came back to like support us for today, like and
you got
see
the
us
grammar
off.
schools here, middle school to here.
Oh, Mr. Monagle from Academy 1.
Yeah, you get a little trip down memory lane here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys get a ribbon. What do they give? Is it a ribbon here?
I don't know.
I think it was ribbons last year.
I think it's like a medal. I think they
I'll
just
take a
give you
ribbon, a medal, trophy. Oh, something. Oh,
They all
win.
mean the same thing.
And how far do you want to take this? Are you going to work on this again next year? What would you like to do in the future?
So for me, I think that if this turns out okay and like if I do really well this year, then I'm going to continue it next year and maybe even get it in the market. Like people can wear henna every single day with the nutrients. So yeah, that's a possibility.
Well, you should come. I have a studio in Seaside Heights. You should come down there because that's the land of henna tattoo. you could probably sell it down there. Get a little henna with a little nutrient.
Yeah.
What would you like to do in the future?
Yeah, so I did this project. I started off last year, so if I could continue this, would be good. And like she said, like patenting these kinds of projects, like it's always fun to take like something that's you're passionate about and just turn it into like a marketable thing that'll help like third world
It's the United
countries.
States. It's capitalistic.
Yeah.
Use your education to get some money. What college you guys looking at? Or where would you like to go?
I mean, we're like juniors now, so we're thinking about college, but I don't know. We're
not sure yet. I'm just looking for a college that has like a good pre-med program or like neuroscience program.
Well, consider NJCU behind you. All right, you guys go back. Let me finish out here, then you go back to your exhibit. You're watching the STEM Showcase 2020. We'll be right back.
We have to be able to police ourselves because we don't want anybody to tarnish our badge.
When internal affairs complaints are not handled properly, the public may believe that most officers commit crimes, when in fact that's not true. Most officers are professional.
If complaints aren't taken properly and the community that we serve doesn't have a trust in the police department, I mean, there has to be legitimacy. If the community doesn't trust the police, how could we effectively serve them? And by having a really comprehensive internal affairs unit that handles the complaints properly and people have trust in the system, it enables us to do our entire job as a police department much better.
We need the community as much as they need us. So that citizen that has lost trust in the community could be a very important witness for us tomorrow.
We're back. You're watching the STEM Showcase 2020 here at the Liberty Science Center, brought to you by RWJ Barnabas, Comcast, NJCU, the Silbermans, many others. We'll run it in the credit roll. We have two other scientific marvels here. Yeah, ladies, your names?
I'm Amina Akbari.
I'm Denise Ramirez.
And you guys are from what school?
University Academy, Charter High School.
And juniors, seniors?
Juniors.
Junior?
Yep.
Junior.
Is your first STEM Showcase?
Yep.
My third.
This is
Your
my first
third?
time.
Yeah.
Well, I know your teacher over there, so she makes sure you guys put the exhibits out. Why don't you tell me about your experiments?
My experiment was on testing different filter materials and seeing which one was best. So I did powdered charcoal and granulated charcoal, and I used solutions from color dye, and I put them through the granulated charcoal and powdered charcoal, and I saw which one filtered out more. And when I did my experiment, I found out that powdered charcoal filters more efficiently than granulated charcoal because powdered charcoal has more surface area and it can take more of the impurities out of the water.
Oh, charcoal, isn't that used for purifying air?
Yes, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, most charcoal filters Again, I'm not the science.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to rattle it around in my head.
It's a commonly used material for a lot of filters, but it's also used for the water as well.
Yeah, like pure, bright. I'm trying to think of the water filter. Bright.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yes.
That's charcoal. What gave you the inspiration for this experiment?
I traveled to Pakistan over the summer, and so over there they're not really accessible to clean water. And so I wanted to do an experiment that actually helps the world and maybe like starts a base of something I can go and to do further and something bigger. And so water was something that I saw that everybody can use.
Everybody could use clean water. Yes.
Everybody can use clean water. So I wanted to do something around that.
And did you prove that it could be done?
Yeah.
No, as I haven't seen that project. I'd like to see that. Because that is one of the most important things to human existence is clean water.
Yes.
And you've been judged?
Yes.
Yeah. You might win something. And your experiment, or theory, or engineering?
If dogs are colorblind, because I'm into veterinary medicine and veterinary subjects when I get older into do college and stuff. So I'm very into like the medical type field. So yeah.
And tell me about your experiment.
So what I did is I took different shades of construction paper and compare them under like a black and white filter to see which ones are similar and which ones are different. And I saw if the dogs could distinguish between the colors, if they can. And it turns out that they can't because they only have a certain amount of rods and cones in their eye, unlike us humans do that we can. We can see different colors while they can't, because of the amount of the rod and cone cells.
Can a dog see different shades of black and white?
They actually can see different shades of colors too, but it's very, very different from what we see. They usually can see blues and yellows and purples, while they can't see like greens and reds. They can't really see those.
Interesting. They have a tremendous sense of smell.
Yeah,
but
they do.
They can smell all this.
Yeah, they count
whatever
their
makes
smell.
up the odor, they can smell the difference. Like if it was a soup,
Yeah.
a dog can tell like the peas and the carrots. They can smell all the differences there. What inspired you to have this experiment?
I have a dog, and I was just like, really curious one day to see if it's actually like really true. I mean, there is research on it that they are colorblind, but it's just a fun little thing to do at home. And I took some other dogs too, like my friends' dogs, to see if it's if it's true, like my hypothesis. If
What's
it was
interesting,
correct.
my daughter Gina, who graduated from high-tech high school, she used to experiment with our dog Boomer all the time. That was her yearly experiment. All these various theories she was working out to see what Boomer could do or what he couldn't do. Now, what do you want to be when you graduate?
Veterinarian.
A veterinarian,
Yes.
excellent. That's an interesting practice too, because a dog or a cat can't tell you what's wrong. You got to figure that
Right.
out.
Yeah.
There's my vet, Dr. Hatch, out in Secaucus. He's really good, and it's like he's one-on-one with these animals.
Yeah, I
Is there a
know.
favorite pet that you have? Cat, dog?
I have a dog.
I'm a dog person
Yeah,
too, but
I'm
I
a
don't
dog
mind
person
cats.
all the way.
Cats, all right. And what would you like to?
I would do something in engineering, definitely something that I could do computer and software engineering. I was thinking about going into there and doing engineering just around that.
What colleges you kind of narrowing down?
My goal is Stevens, but
Oh, it's not too far. It's only over there in Hoboken.
Yeah.
There's no parking, but yeah, it's a fine school.
Stevens or Rutgers, New Brunswick are
Rutgers?
my goal schools. Yeah.
Rutgers is a good school.
Yeah.
And you?
NYU, Rutgers, NJCU is also one of my
Does
options.
Rutgers have a veterinarian?
They have a pre-vet.
Pre-vet?
And biology major is what I'm gonna do in order to get into other vet schools around.
And both of you have been judged, right?
Yes.
So hopefully you get the replica. I should find out what they give. I think it was a ribbon last year, but it might be
Yeah.
a medal now. Stevens, huh? That's a. And you both of you are in Jersey City, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wouldn't be too far from you. And going to Rutgers, where would be the Rutgers campus with the for the vet?
It'll be in Newark.
No, well, that's not too bad either. All right.
Yep.
Good luck. Hopefully you get a ribbon.
Thank
You're
you.
watching the STEM Showcase 2020. We'll be right back.
Hudson TMA reminds you that a bicycle is considered a vehicle. When you ride a bike, you must obey the rules of the road.
Ride single file in the same direction as traffic. Obey traffic signs and signals. Signal your turns and look behind you before you turn. And always stay alert.
We're back. You're watching the STEM Showcase 2020 live from the Liberty Science Center, courtesy of RWJ Barnabas and NJ City University. I still remember it when it was Teachers College. Now we have two more science minds here. From what school are you guys from?
University.
University?
Academy, yeah.
Well, and your names?
Jenna Mustafa.
I'm kind of Arif.
All right. Tell me about you got joint experiment or separate?
No, separate.
All right. Let me hear yours.
Mine? Mine was on how temperature affects the heart and how hotter temperatures supposedly are supposed to be more harsh, whereas my experiment found that colder temperatures tend to be more harsh on the heart.
Now, which is worse for the heart, hot or cold?
Medically, they say that hot temperatures are worse for prolonged experiences, but cold temperatures raise your heart rate faster and more intensely, like it makes the pulses stronger. I believe because your central nervous system, trying to keep you alive in case you're in colder climates.
Well, don't they put people like in an induced coma and keep them cold or on, they used to say putting them on ice?
In prolonged experiments, yes, cold temperatures are better for your heart, whereas hot temperatures, it tends to exhaust the heart because it's trying to keep it at a very steady pace. Whereas with cold temperatures, it's trying to keep it warmer so your body pumps more blood. So I believe if you're in a coma and it's colder in the room, it's better for you because it's more controlled.
That was the results of your experiments, but you're funny, all the seniors go to Florida where it's hot. You'd think they'd go to Alaska. They'd live longer that way. What inspired you to come up with this experiment?
When I washed my hair, I washed it with cold water, and one day when I was in the shower, I realized my heart just spiked. Maybe this would be a good experiment.
The shower affected you?
Yeah, because when I wash my body with hot water and then I flip it to cold water to wash my hair, it spikes you a little bit, and I felt my heart, beat faster. And then I realized, maybe this would be a cool experiment to see how this affects the heart.
Oh, interesting. That happens to me a lot because we put this tankless water heater in. Yeah, it's not always hot water all the time, and you get that cold water spurt there.
Yeah.
And all your research show that the cold is better for the heart.
In my experiment, it just showed that it raised it faster. It didn't exactly say, I wasn't, trying to see what's better. I was just trying to see what happens.
What happened?
Whereas, in controlled environments, I believe that cooler is better for your heart.
Wonder what the life expectancy is up north as opposed to the south.
Maybe that could be my next project.
Minnesota, Canada. And your experiment?
It was on the effects of magnetism on plant growth. So it was to see if magnetism, like adding magnets, would increase the growth of plants.
And the effects of magnets on what?
In growth, plant growth. So does it help it grow faster? Magnets. And in my experiment, it did. Adding magnets to your inside your plant.
And what inspired you to come up with this experiment?
It was actually my mom, because she likes growing plants around in the house. We have a lot, so it was based off of what she likes. So I wanted to do an experiment off of it.
And to what end is this experiment?
I mean, it's to help you, if you want to grow plants faster, that's a way for you to, do it by adding magnets. But you can definitely do it with greater things, outside of the house, because it was just a tiny experiment, but you could definitely expand it more.
Well, even with the human body, there's people wear these magnetic braces. They believe it separates impurities or whatever from the blood. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, you can experiment on that too, but I feel like for my experiment, it definitely worked. Adding magnets to inside with the seed in the plant, it definitely made it grow faster.
Plants actually grew faster?
Yeah, they
from
did.
the magnets? Well, there's probably applications to that with the human body from the plant.
Probably, because I compared it to one without magnets and then one with magnets, and it actually grew taller than the other one.
So where do you take this research to now? Do you come back and perfect it more for next year? Because you guys are what, juniors?
Yes.
So you got another shot at this next year.
Yeah, I feel like you can definitely try it with other seeds because I only tried it with lemon seeds. So you can try it with other plants and see if it works for them too.
That's interesting with the magnets. Now, where are you guys looking to go to college?
I have a few in mind. I have Rutgers in mind, NJCU in mind, thinking.
What's interesting, of all the kids I interviewed today, not one said a non-Jersey college. Nobody said like University of Nevada. Everybody wanted to stay in state.
I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah, out-of-state fees are crazy.
Yeah.
And what college would you like to attend?
Probably NJCU. I go to University Academy, so I get a free scholarship.
Right behind you. Right behind you, NJCU. Sue Henderson will appreciate that. Great college. Have you been to the campus?
Yeah, all my sisters graduated from there.
And they're expanding that campus all the way down to West Side. You guys been judged?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did they come out with this? Maybe they're doing that now. When did they come out and give the awards?
Sometime in April.
Yeah, probably after.
As I see, there's something mulling around over there now. All right, so hopefully you guys win.
Hopefully.
And you're a junior also, right?
No, I'm a freshman.
You're a freshman? Oh, I thought you were junior. So I've been doing this now 6 years, so I'll probably see you another 3 years after this, and I'll catch you next year.
Yeah.
All right, you're watching the STEM Showcase 2020 here live from the Liberty Science Center. I'll be right back.
This is probably the biggest, exciting science fair of the year, and we are rooting for all the kids, and we know that whoever got here has gotten here through a lot of hard work and a lot of talent.
We'd just like to wish all the participants good luck from all the different school districts, and this is a wonderful thing that's still been going on for 60-something years now, so thank you.
We're back. You're watching the STEM Showcase 2020 live at the Liberty Science Center. The judging is done. I think some awards are starting to come out. We have two more scientific brains here. What school are you guys from?
High Tech High School.
High Tech. We just had Samantha Doria here. She was on earlier.
Yeah.
My daughter is a graduate from High Tech.
Oh, what major?
And she got a free ride to Ramapo College.
Wow.
And from there, she went into debt with Rutgers for an MBA, a master's, excuse me, and then went back to Rutgers for a PhD.
Oh, that's
but
awesome.
It was a tremendous education with High Tech. You guys were on the new campus.
Yes.
Really were you in the old one?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun getting to, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why they put a high school there, but it worked out. But the new campus, I got to go there myself.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I see it on the Turnpike.
Yes,
and I don't know if you know Mayor Sacco, but that was his dream there to improve education in North Bergen.
Wow. Yeah.
So they're going to make a middle school or something like that, or a high school.
Yeah,
two classes of high school in the old one, I think.
They're using the old building for a middle school, I think.
And what city are you guys from?
I'm from Jersey City.
Jersey City?
I'm from Gothenburg, next North Bergen.
North Bergen?
No, Gothenburg.
Oh, Gothenburg.
Yeah, the tiny one.
What is Gothenburg, like 2 blocks long?
Hey, don't come crazy at us.
You got Mayor Zid out there, the new mayor, and you got Mayor Full up here in Jersey City.
Yeah.
And you're in what school? You're in High Tech, right? And you're in High Tech also?
Yeah.
Actually, good school. Now, your experiment. Who's going first? What experiment?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go first.
So my research was about the antibacterial properties of Traxicum crude and alcohol extracts. Traxicum is what?
Say your name.
Oh, my name is Janet Shnuda.
Oh, we didn't do names? Oh, yeah, that would be a good idea. Your name. That's good. Introduce yourself.
My name is Janet Shnuda.
My name is Ruben Bugan. I'm a junior.
You got a job in television when you're done. Somebody should have reminded me of that. All right.
Yeah, I'm a junior too. We're both juniors.
Yeah.
Juniors. Oh, so you'll be back here next year.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's your first one, or you've been here before?
This is my first one in the Liberty Science Center.
Me too.
But we've done one in St. Joseph's College in New York.
All right, now your experiment.
Okay.
Antibacterial?
Yeah, the antibacterial properties of Traxicum, crude and alcohol extracts. Traxicum is more commonly known as dandelions. So basically I just tested if they have antibacterial effects against 2 different types of bacteria, E. coli and B. subtilis. E. coli is a gram-negative bacteria. B. subtilis is a gram-positive bacteria. And crude is just like the the plant just smushed up into a liquid state, and alcohol extracts is the crude extract but combined with alcohol. So yeah, and I found that it has stimulating and inhibitory effects. So when combined with the alcohol, the flower of the dandelion with alcohol has the greatest inhibition, and the flower alone has stimulating effects, one with E. coli. But one with the subtilis, and it's crude in alcohol, it has inhibitory effects. Yeah.
And what's the end game to this study?
So since the crude extract provides a stimulating effects, we can use these hopefully in the future with more research in the gut of patients who suffer from a shortage of bacteria, of healthy bacteria, so it could promote bacterial growth in their guts. And for the inhibitory effects, we can use, since it's combined with alcohol, we could potentially use it as an ointment to prevent bacterial growth on wounds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody's immune system is compromised.
Yeah.
So that would be help.
Yeah.
All right. Now, how far do you take this study? Do you, from this year, do you study more next year?
I'm planning on testing the antibacterial effects of Taraxacum against cancer cells, hopefully, or maybe some funguses. Yeah.
And where do you get to test this? Where do you get the cancer cells?
Oh, I guess I would have to do it in like a college. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Do they sell cancer cells on Amazon?
Amazon, probably.
Probably. They sell bacteria on there.
And what college would you like to attend?
My dream college is, for now, like for undergrad, would be Villanova. Because they have a really good pre-med program, but yeah. So yeah.
And your experiment?
So my experiment was similar. I want to test the antibacterial properties of something called graviola. It's like a superfruit now. And I actually took the extract and I soaked it into a disc, and then I compared it to conventional antibiotics. And what I actually found was that graviola available for human consumption does not have antibacterial properties, but the one that isn't available for human consumption, that's really high concentration, it actually does have antibacterial properties, and they're actually using it to irrigate, like dentists are using it to irrigate like mouths before like they start working to clean it up. In Brazil, they're actually using it.
What inspired you to come up with this experiment? What was the inspiration?
It was actually here last year. I went to the college one and I saw everyone talking about it, and they said that graviola oil had anti-cancer properties, so I wanted to see if it also had antibacterial properties, because of course they're different cells, eukaryotics and prokaryotics, but it actually doesn't available for human consumption.
You guys should team up. You're both talking about cancer properties there.
Yeah.
And try Amazon. They might have cancer cells there. Do you have any teachers that you want to give a shout out to who inspired you or put you on?
Dr. Nina, Dr. S.
Who else? Miss Braun.
Miss Braun.
Who else?
Who else?
Oh, it got to be some more. Did you run across any of our old teachers here?
No.
Mr. Weber, I saw him. Yeah, he was here.
That's great for you guys. You're coming in because they got the elementary school, middle classes here, middle school, so you get to see some of your old teachers.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Now, there's no schools in Guttenberg, are there?
There is. There's
Is
no
there
high
a school in Guttenberg?
Yes, everybody's always cracking on us. We have an elementary school, but we don't have a high school. So we go to North Bergen.
Well, how many people? How big is Guttenberg? It's only a matter of blocks.
But there's so many people living there. I think like the population is like 11,000 last time I checked. That's a lot of people.
It's pretty compact in there.
I'm pretty sure it's like the most overpopulated city or town in Hudson County. I'm pretty sure.
I thought that would be Jersey City, no? Is it Guttenberg?
Maybe. No, wait, isn't it a town?
Listen, there is no city in Hudson County that isn't crowded. They're all packed in pretty good. And that wraps up our presentation today. I want to thank everybody who was involved, all the students, the various schools, RWJ Barnabas, NJ City University, Comcast, all the sponsors, my gang here behind me from North Bergen High School. They work out of my studio in North Bergen. Jonathan, Mike, everybody involved in the production, good job. We'll have this up on the internet very soon, and we'll tweet it out. You be good, you be safe. I'll talk to you later. Good night.
Good night.